Stoic tips for handling rude people. Have you ever wondered why some folks can just push our buttons so easily? Picture turning each frustrating encounter into a chance for personal growth. In today's video, we're diving into the heart of Stoic philosophy to uncover how we can use daily challenges to our advantage and evolve through each irritating interaction. Stick with us and discover practical strategies that will not only improve your relationships, but also transform your approach to conflicts and setbacks. Ready? 1. Human nature and the persistence of irritating people. Have you ever pondered why, across centuries and cultures, there are always those individuals who somehow manage to get under our skin? From ancient Stoic philosophers like Zeno and Seneca, grappling with irritating and frustrating individuals has been a constant thread in the tapestry of human experience. But why does this happen? Well, it's largely due to the rich diversity of personalities, values, and expectations that characterize humanity. Each person, with their uniqueness, brings a distinct perspective to the table, sometimes resulting in inevitable clashes. To start, it's crucial to understand where our irritation stems from. Often it arises when our expectations collide with the reality of others' behavior. Each of us has a vision of how the world should be, and when someone challenges those norms, we feel frustrated. Upon reflection, we can see these moments as mirrors of our own expectations, questioning if they might sometimes be too rigid. Viewing irritating people as involuntary teachers can be a transformative approach. Each interaction offers us a chance to practice calmness and self-understanding. For instance, in a meeting, instead of getting annoyed with a colleague who interrupts, you can see it as an opportunity to exercise diplomacy and effective communication. Now just imagine if each of us viewed these irritating encounters not as a burden, but as an opportunity for personal growth. And what if we saw each challenging interaction as an invitation to practice patience, tolerance, and understanding? Through this new perspective, we can begin to value these experiences not just as tests of our patience, but as true lessons in humanity. After all, every person we meet carries with them a story, fears, and dreams that shape their actions. By approaching each situation with a mindset of understanding and compassion, we can transform even the most frustrating encounters into moments of connection and learning. So how about we start seeing these daily challenges as opportunities to become more understanding and resilient versions of ourselves? By doing so, we not only cope better with everyday stress, but also contribute to a more harmonious and empathetic world. And who knows, maybe we can even inspire those who irritate us to reflect on their own actions. Now I ask you, are you ready to turn your next frustrating interaction into a growth opportunity? 2. Not being influenced by others' cruelty or pettiness. How many times do we encounter situations where someone's cruelty or pettiness tries to bring us down or steer us away from our principles? In an ideal world, everyone would act with kindness and respect. But as we know, reality often presents us with very different challenges. So the question becomes, how can we preserve our character and authentic behavior in the face of such provocations? First and foremost, it's essential to recognize that the ability not to be negatively influenced by others is a form of inner strength. When someone treats us with pettiness or cruelty, it may be tempting to respond in kind. However, it's precisely here that the true test of character lies. Stoic friends, what are the strategies for maintaining integrity? First, self-awareness. Be mindful of your emotions and reactions. Recognizing how you feel when confronted with others' negativity is the first step in not allowing those emotions to dictate your actions. Second, response, not reaction. There's a significant difference between responding and reacting. Reacting is instinctive and often emotional, while responding is considered and controlled. Take a moment to breathe and choose a response that reflects who you are, not what the situation tries to provoke in you. Third, values as a compass. Keep your personal values as a guide. Ask yourself, is this action aligned with my values? If the answer is no, it's probably not the action you want to take. Fourth, commitment to the positive. Make a conscious effort to promote positivity in your interactions. This not only enhances your well-being, but can also influence the environment around you in a beneficial way. Fifth, seeking support. Don't underestimate the power of social support. Talking to friends, family, or even a counselor about your experiences can offer new perspectives and reaffirm your strength in maintaining integrity. By choosing not to be influenced by others' negativity, you not only protect your mental and emotional well-being, but also serve as an example to others. Your ability to remain calm and respond with integrity can inspire those around you to do the same. This is the true power of leading by example. In summary, while we can't control others' behavior, we have complete control over how we choose to respond. Every choice we make in this regard not only defines who we are, but also who we want to be. So the next time you encounter cruelty or pettiness, ask yourself, what kind of person do I choose to be in this moment? 3. The obstacle is the way. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone seems to be doing everything to complicate your life? It could be a co-worker, a family member, or even a stranger. Instead of viewing these interactions as insurmountable obstacles, how about considering them as paths to personal growth? That's the essence of the principle, the obstacle is the way. The idea that every challenge is an opportunity to grow is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. When we face difficult people, we're being offered a unique chance to practice patience, empathy, and assertiveness, virtues that are essential for a fulfilling and meaningful life. And how do you practice virtues in everyday life? Patience. When dealing with challenging individuals, patience becomes a crucial skill. It's a chance to learn to control your reactions and understand that some situations take time to resolve. Empathy. Trying to see things from the other person's perspective can completely transform your perception of the conflict. Ask yourself, what is this person going through to act this way? Assertiveness. Being assertive doesn't mean being aggressive. It means expressing your needs and boundaries clearly and respectfully, ensuring that your voice is heard without trampling on others. Now imagine you're working on a project with a colleague who constantly disagrees with your ideas. Instead of getting annoyed or giving up, use it as an opportunity to practice negotiation and effective communication. Explore ways to present your ideas that include feedback and open space for dialogue, or consider a neighbor who always seems to find something to complain about. Instead of avoiding confrontations, face each interaction as training for your diplomacy and ability to keep calm under pressure. What's the long-term impact? By adopting this approach, not only do you grow as a person, but you also contribute to a more positive environment around you. Every virtue practiced is a stone in the foundation of a more understanding and resilient community. So, the next time you encounter a difficult person, remember, this is not just an obstacle, it's your path. It's a disguised opportunity that, if embraced, can teach you valuable and transformative lessons. 4. Treatment of others and response to undesirable behavior. In our daily lives, we all face behaviors that we consider undesirable or difficult to handle. From lack of courtesy in traffic to more serious disagreements in the workplace or at home, these challenges can test our patience and our view of humanity. But how can we respond to these behaviors without becoming cynical or giving up on people? It's crucial to understand that people's behavior is often a reflection of their own internal struggles, fears, or insecurities. Recognizing this doesn't justify negative acts, but it offers a perspective that can help maintain our compassion. How to deal with undesirable behavior stoically. Practice empathy. Practicing empathy doesn't mean passively tolerating everything. It means trying to understand the why behind others' actions. This can help reduce personal frustration and respond more effectively and less emotionally. Have clear communication and pick your battles. Not every undesirable behavior requires a response. Sometimes, recognizing when to step back can preserve our energy and emotional well-being. Imagine a coworker frequently making negative comments in meetings. Instead of reacting with irritation, try addressing them privately to express how these comments affect you and the team, suggesting more constructive ways of communication. Or, if you encounter someone being rude in service instead of retaliating in kind, consider that the person may be having a bad day and choose to respond with kindness, which may even brighten their day. Each interaction is a chance to reaffirm our belief in people's basic goodness. By choosing to respond with integrity and care, we're cultivating an environment that encourages others to do the same. This not only improves our immediate relationships, but also contributes to a more compassionate and respectful culture. Facing undesirable behaviors without becoming cynical is an act of strength and resilience. By choosing empathetic and assertive approaches, we reinforce our faith in humanity and empower ourselves to positively influence the interactions around us. Remember, every gesture counts, and your response can be the catalyst for positive change. 5. Developing constructive indifference. When considering the idea of developing constructive indifference, we delve into a deeply liberating and practical concept. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times you've let yourself be affected by trivial matters or others' opinions that ultimately don't alter the course of your life? Constructive indifference isn't about ignoring the world around you or disconnecting from real problems. It's about choosing where to put your energy. Imagine that your attention is a precious resource, similar to money in your wallet. Would you spend this precious resource on things that bring you no return? Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you're in a job where opinions constantly differ. If every comment or criticism causes annoyance, what energy will be left at the end of the day? On the other hand, if you develop a certain level of indifference towards comments that don't add value, you can preserve your energy for projects and interactions that truly matter. This approach can be even more impactful on our emotional well-being. When we stop clinging to every little slip-up or harsh word directed at us, we create a space of serenity in our minds. This space allows us to focus on our growth, our values, and what genuinely makes us happy. So I ask you, what areas of your life could benefit from constructive indifference? Think about how this practice could release more energy to focus on your long-term goals and strengthen relationships that are truly meaningful to you. By embracing this form of indifference, we're not becoming cold or insensitive. Rather, we're choosing to participate more intentionally in our own lives, deciding not to let external noise dominate our inner peace. This is an act of self-care, a form of self-respect. I encourage you to try this constructive indifference. Notice the changes that begin to occur when you consciously decide not to be shaken by what doesn't alter your essence or your path. It's a journey of discovery and empowerment, a step toward a more focused and tranquil life. How can you start this transformation today? 6. Maintaining an expanded perspective. When we address the theme of maintaining an expanded perspective, we delve into an essential strategy for maintaining our emotional balance. Imagine you're in the center of a hurricane. Everything around you seems chaotic and out of control. Now picture yourself rising above this storm, visualizing it from above. Suddenly you realize that the hurricane is just a small part of a much larger and calmer world. This metaphor illustrates the power of adopting a broader view in challenging situations. When we face difficulties or interact with people who challenge us, it's easy to get caught up in the details and intensity of the moment. However, by expanding our view and considering the broader context, we may realize that many of these adversities are temporary and often less significant than they seem. For example, suppose you're facing a conflict at work. In the heat of the moment, every comment or criticism may feel like a personal attack. But by adopting a broader perspective, you may realize that tensions could be a reflection of others' stress or tight deadlines, and not necessarily a judgment of your competence or worth as a person. This approach also helps us deal with difficult people. Up close, someone's behavior may seem purely annoying or offensive. However, by stepping back and considering the possible reasons behind this behavior, such as personal insecurities, issues at home, or even a lack of communication skills, we can respond with more compassion and less frustration. Furthermore, maintaining an expanded perspective is a way to cultivate resilience. By recognizing that challenges are just part of a larger cycle and that each experience contributes to our growth, we strengthen our ability to face future adversities with more calmness and confidence. So how can you start practicing this expanded view in your daily life? Perhaps begin by recognizing when you're overly focused on details and consciously reminding yourself to zoom out for a broader perspective. This can not only reduce the emotional impact of situations, but also open up space for new solutions and insights. How can you apply this new perspective today? 7. Benefit of the doubt and mutual understanding. Let's imagine a common scenario. You're in traffic after a long day of work, and someone abruptly cuts you off. What would be your immediate reaction? Frustration, anger, maybe even an impulsive gesture. Now imagine for a moment if that person were rushing to a hospital, desperate for news about a loved one. Would it change your perspective on the situation? This is the essence of the benefit of the doubt, a powerful practice of empathy and mutual understanding. It's about recognizing that we all share similar flaws, desires, and fears. By offering this benefit to others, we not only alleviate our own tensions, but also open doors to a more peaceful and supportive coexistence. Now, think about how you would feel if someone gave you the benefit of the doubt in a difficult moment. Perhaps when you made a mistake at work or said something you regretted in a moment of stress. Comforting, isn't it? Why not offer that to others? Not only in significant challenges, but in everyday life, in the small mistakes and misunderstandings that populate our interactions. Let's reflect on this. When was the last time you reached out with understanding before judging? The practice of the benefit of the doubt not only enriches the bonds we weave with others, but also helps us grow internally, making us more patient, tolerant, and fundamentally more human. Now I invite you to incorporate this principle into your daily life. The next time you find yourself in a frustrating situation, take a pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what if there was a valid reason for this behavior? This simple question can not only change your reaction, but also completely transform your interaction with the world around you. 8. Responding with patience and joy. Imagine you're facing one of those days where nothing seems to go right. The alarm doesn't go off, the coffee spills on your favorite shirt, and the traffic is an absolute mess. In those moments, what's your natural inclination? To get irritated and discouraged, right? But what if I told you there's a more invigorating and effective alternative? Responding with patience and joy is that alternative. It's a method that not only transforms your personal experience, but also positively impacts the people around you. Let's face it, everyone appreciates being in the company of someone who radiates positivity and calmness, even amidst chaos. Being that person can bring a remarkable change to your life and the lives of others. Patience is like a muscle that strengthens with practice. When you choose to respond calmly, even in the face of setbacks, you're training your mind to maintain control in future situations. And joy? Well, it's contagious. A smile or a kind word can work wonders for someone having a rough day. Why not turn this into a personal experiment? The next time something doesn't go as planned, try responding with a smile and seeing the problem as an opportunity to practice your patience. Notice how this not only improves your mood, but also positively affects those around you. And here's a challenge. Next week, choose a day to be your day of patience and joy. During this day, commit to approaching every challenge with a smile and a calm attitude. At the end of the day, reflect on how this changed your interactions and your own mood. So why not start now? Transforming our approach to daily challenges can not only brighten our day, but also make the world a little brighter. Let's spread a little more patience and joy, one day at a time. 9. Practice of healthy personal boundaries. Establishing healthy personal boundaries is essential for our well-being and personal development. But what exactly does it mean to maintain these boundaries? And how can we do so respectfully and effectively? Think of your personal boundaries as an invisible fence that delineates what you consider acceptable and what you do not in your social interactions. These boundaries are not just about saying no to others' demands, but also about recognizing and communicating your own values, physical space, and emotional needs. When established and respected, they create an environment of mutual respect, allowing for healthier and more balanced relationships. Now you might wonder, how can I start practicing these boundaries effectively? First, self-awareness is vital. Understand what your essential boundaries are and why they are important to you. This may include your personal time, physical space, emotional limits, and even your expectations regarding respectful treatment and communication. Once you have clarity about your boundaries, the next step is to communicate them. This can be challenging, especially if you're not used to asserting yourself. However, clear communication is key. When someone approaches you in a way that you consider invasive or disrespectful, be honest and direct. For example, if a colleague constantly demands your time outside of work hours, you can say, "I value our teamwork, but after 6 p.m., I need to dedicate time to my family. Let's address this tomorrow during business hours." But how can you maintain these boundaries without feeling guilty or worrying about seeming selfish? Here's where cultivating a positive mindset towards self-preservation comes in. Remember, establishing boundaries is not about rejecting others, but about respecting yourself. By practicing and maintaining these boundaries, you not only take care of yourself, but also teach others how to interact with you respectfully and thoughtfully. Finally, be prepared to defend your boundaries. Not everyone will respect your boundaries initially, and that's where consistency becomes crucial. Don't hesitate to reaffirm your boundaries if they're disrespected. This may be challenging, but over time people will come to understand and respect your need for these boundaries. So, are you ready to take this step towards a healthier and respected self? Remember, setting boundaries is not about isolation, but about healthy interaction. Let's start today to define and communicate our needs with confidence and clarity. After all, respecting yourself is the first step to being respected by others. 10. Connectivity and human interdependence. Have you ever stopped to reflect on how interconnected we all are? The idea of connectivity and human interdependence reminds us that none of us is an island. Every action we take, every word we say, has the potential to affect not only the people around us, but also entire communities and ecosystems on a global scale. Think of it as an intricate web, where each thread is connected to all others in visible and invisible ways. This network includes not only humans, but all forms of life and the natural systems of our planet. When one element of this web is affected, whether positively or negatively, the repercussions can be felt throughout the entire network. So how can we nurture this awareness in our daily lives? It starts with recognizing our shared responsibility to positively contribute to society. This means making conscious decisions that promote not only individual, but also collective well-being. For example, choosing environmentally friendly products or engaging in sustainable practices are ways to respect our interconnectedness with the environment. Furthermore, by working for the common good, we strengthen the bonds that unite us. This can be through volunteering, community involvement, or simply by being kind and understanding to others. Every act of kindness is like a ripple that spreads through the web, reinforcing our collective connection. Now I invite you to a brief reflection. How are your daily actions contributing to this web of interdependence? Are they strengthening community ties and promoting positive impact? Or are there areas where you could improve? It's essential that each of us, in our own capacities, reflects on how we can contribute more effectively. It doesn't require grand gestures. Small, consistent actions can have a profound impact. So what will be your next step? How can you further strengthen this network of connections in your life? Remember, each of us has a crucial role to play. Together we can create a fairer, more sustainable, and more compassionate society. Let's embark on this journey together, recognizing and valuing the beauty of our interconnection. Now that we understand how our interactions shape the world around us, what change are you ready to initiate? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next video.